everybody, Jason Burmis here, and we have sort of an interesting Epstein update if you actually keep up on not only the Epstein case, but international human trafficking and how it deals with the McCain family. You see, John McCain was actually one of the people that was responsible for bringing a guy named Ashton Kutcher into the mix. He actually blew Senator McCain a kiss during a hearing trying to end sex trafficking. Now, this is back in February of 2017, almost 3 years ago. I believe I did cover this story for We Are Change, and the interesting thing was that Kutcher had software through his private company that helped find 6,000 victims, including 2,000 children. Now, let me say this. I think that Ashton Kutcher is a genuine human being, that being in Hollywood has seen some of the horrors out there and wanted to do everything he could to bring sexual predators, especially those of children, to justice. And we all have our different levels of naivety, right? So today, I see in my Twitter feed a clip of Cindy McCain, and she is discussing human trafficking. And this is down in Miami. The Miami Herald put this on. But it was just a short clip about Epstein, and she says we all knew. But I want more context than that. So, as I like to share with my audience where I get things, I actually went to C-SPAN. I found the video. I downloaded the video. And I watched it so that I actually had a little bit more to show you than just that one clip. And by the way, the admission is a lot more shocking than the 12-second clip that's running around Twitter when you actually hear the question. Okay, the question, which is posed by a young person, basically says, hey, what's going on here? There seems to be an elite political class that peddle in children and are above the law. How do we fix this? I'm paraphrasing that, but that's the gist of it. Now, first, I want to point to that McCain, she's as establishment as it gets, especially with her answers. So first, she's going to play, my daughter went to school with one of the victims of Epstein card in the very same school. It's in everybody's neighborhood. Let's play that.
So that you know what you're looking at and you know what to do when you see it. Very quickly, to bring it home, we're talking about the Jeffrey Epstein thing. He's in hell, I hope. I hope he's in hell right now. He deserves to be. A girl from my daughter's high school was one of his victims. That's how close to home it came to us, for us, on this. So I'm hoping that we get to discuss not only what it is, but where it is. And
the thing is that you're not really discussing what it is or where it is. Yes, it is everywhere. But when it gets to the upper echelons, the elite levels, right, you refuse to discuss it. Look, Cindy McCain, the widow of John McCain, knows damn well that there are backdoor deals everywhere. Her husband was in Syria on that mission just around the time Operation Timber Sycamore was going on, and the rebels got armed. Those pictures of he and al-Baghdadi are as legitimate as it gets. This woman is really somebody that's been embedded in the predator class for some time as one of their minions, as one of their social climbing, gangster-like minions. That's what she is, okay? And I don't think there's going to be a better time to show that than right now. When you see this young man stand up and ask a real question, because really you'd think there'd be a lot more about Epstein. There isn't in this, okay? And it's so important to hear what this guy's got to say, because he really, in my opinion, absolutely kills this question, okay? So let's make sure we get it on here.
Thank you both so much for your work. Mrs. McCain, thank you so much for your work with the Institute and for coming here, talking to us. So I'm going to shoot straight. The perception between a lot of young people is that there is an untouchable ring of governmental and economic elites in this country that not only benefit, like she mentioned, but actively participate in sex trafficking. Jeffrey Epstein was an example. Robert Kraft was arrested not far from here on trafficking charges.
Let's stop that. He couldn't have said it better. They're not only benefiting this governmental and political elite, they're partaking. And that's the vibe with young people. I'm not so young. I'm 40 years old. You know, old man Reaper, River Styx, one day is going to come for me and everybody else like me. You too. All right? So he's going to ask, how do we address this? How do we address this? Because it needs to be addressed. He says, can we even address this? Are they literally that powerful that we can't address the situation? Okay, listen to this. This is a great question.
And so we, in terms of this as a grassroots movement to push to combat against this issue, are these power players a priority for us right now? Can we even touch them? Or is this a pipe dream that we need to address in the future somehow?
Is this a pipe dream we need to address in the future somehow? Now remember, he named Robert Kraft. And a lot of people let that brush under the rug and, he was just getting, hand jobs and sex from, sex workers in these massage parlors. But there seemed to be more than just that. All right. And remember, Robert Kraft last year, after I was doing videos on McGregor, you can check them out, during the Super Bowl, is shaking McGregor's hand, and McGregor's got his baby boy. And they're both in matching purple suits together. Remember, this slither circle is very real. So listen, and here's the thing. Take this question, we're going to run it through without my commentary after all this. And think about what Meghan McCain says to that question. This guy literally says there seems to be a government and political elite class that's not only benefiting, but trafficking in these people. How do we address it? Can we even address it? Listen to what McCain says.
It's like everything. It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one that was, legal aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him.
Let's stop. So she just admits, she points to herself and says, we all knew about it. Okay? There it is, Cindy McCain. We all knew about it. But there was no legal mechanism to go after him. Listen.
All of a sudden, someone said, BS. We're not afraid of you anymore on what you're doing. It's not only wrong, it's illegal, it's, all those things. It's like a house of cards now. It's going to start tumbling, believe me. And these guys, if they don't leave the country, number one, they're going to get caught, and not only will they get caught, but they're going to be made examples of, and that's exactly what we should be doing.
Now, I want to believe that we're going to make examples of them, but notice that she says if they don't leave the country, saying that some of these people may have already left the country. Remember, we all knew. Now, here's the other aspect to that, because we're going to play that whole clip all the way through from the question to her answer so everybody can say that, so everybody can see it from there. But here's the deal. We went over this in the deep dive on Ghislaine Maxwell earlier in the week. But it is so important to understand that the mechanism may be an intelligence and national security mechanism before or after the fact, whether it be blackmail after the fact or during these operations. What do I mean? We've been talking about the 10,000 pages and whether or not we're going to get them, or we're going to get them in redacted fashion, or whether or not they're judicial documents. Well, a couple of the arguments, okay, let's do it, for not putting them out there is protection of ongoing investigation, safety of witnesses, and national security and trade secrets. Think about the trade secrets part, okay, and that's expended upon right here. National security and the trade secrets may be sufficient to defeat the presumption. So if we're even telling you how we use these intelligence methods, you're not going to get that part of the document in the 10,000 pages. And remember, the media focused on the claim in this document that somehow Maxwell was hurt and her emails were hacked. No proof of that, because they released her personal email address in that 2,000 page data dump. Okay? This is reality. And Cindy McCain, she's not going to tell you that reality. But she did let it slip that we all knew we couldn't do anything. And the thing was that if we want it to fall like a house of cards, you guys out there, you got to keep up with this issue. You got to tell your friends it's not over. All right, and again, we're going to play the clip again because it is so important. And you're not seeing the full context of this clip on the internet. I may just cut it and put it on Twitter as well as a companion piece to this. But think about that. I need you to thumbs this up, subscribe, share this on your video blogs, on social media. Here we go, okay? Let's bring it back to where we need to. Where are we at? 40, let's see, right around there.
It's one that you'll never forget.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please.
Hi, my name is Sebastian.
yeah.
Thank you
Sorry.
both so much for your work. Mrs. McCain, thank you so much for your work with the
Thanks for the
Institute
question,
and for
bro.
coming here, talking to us. So I'm going to shoot straight. The perception between a lot of young people is that there is an untouchable ring of governmental and economic elites in this country that not only benefit, like she mentioned, but actively participate in sex trafficking. Jeffrey Epstein was an example. Robert Kraft was arrested not far from here on trafficking charges. And so we, in terms of this as a grassroots movement to push to combat against this issue, are these power players a priority for us right now? Can we even touch them? Or is this a pipe dream that we need to address in the future somehow?
It's like everything. It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one that was, legal aspect that would go after him.
You see, when you have somebody who's eventually the labor secretary in the current administration prosecuting the case, and then when he's being checked on that, admits that he was told that Epstein was intelligence and that it was above his pay grade, and then this quote-unquote sweetheart deal is made, and now you have law enforcement saying that he was trafficking young girls as young as 11, all the way through 2018 in his Virgin Islands. That's what you get. And she says, for one reason or another,
Were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him.
for whatever reason, they were afraid of him. Well, could it be those national security ties? Again, let's read it. They're claiming this in the lawsuit, basically to suppress those 10,000. We read the whole thing, okay? If you want to learn about it, just go check out my channel. Make sure you're thumbs up, you're subscribed, and you hit the notifications. Actually, guys, there's a star here. Just come back. We do it every day, 3 to 7 times a day. But if you want to see me read that entire document and go over its implications, there it is right there. That's how we do it. We do it big over here. So there you have it. You have Cindy McCain. I hope I haven't said that again and again and again. Meghan is his daughter. Cindy McCain admitting at this conference that they all knew about him while someone asked about that political, governmental elite class that is trafficking in human beings. Unbelievable. Shocking. There should be headlines everywhere. It's not. So you'll find it here. You'll find it at the Burmese Brigade. Thumbs this video up. Subscribe. Share. Remember, guys, I am also a documentary filmmaker. In the playlist section, you can watch my documentaries. If you think you've been told anywhere near the truth about 9/11, go watch Fabled Enemies and Loose Change Final Cut right now. If you want more insight into where we're going, into globalization, Invisible Empire and Shade are for you, and they're free of charge. They are top quality documentaries, and I'm funded by you guys. I'm not asking you to pay to see those. They're free. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me on my GoFundMe, and now I'm doing 5 exclusive videos a week only on Rockfin Premium, including a Harvey Weinstein video in that Slither Circle. Find out how he's related to Epstein and Clinton, okay? It's all there. The Spacey crew, huh? So rockfin.com/Jason Burmis. And by the way, you can just join and follow for free. If you do become a premium subscriber, you get a lot more than just Jason Burmis. You get a ton of stuff. But again, guys, we'll be up on this Epstein story, every development. So make sure to share this with your friends and family. I absolutely love you guys, and I will see you on the flip side.